The Portland Police Bureau, officially the Portland Bureau of Police, is the law enforcement agency of the city of Portland, the largest city in the U.S. state of Oregon. While oversight of Portland's bureaus shifts among the 5 city commissioners, the mayor has historically been assigned to the police bureau as the police commissioner. The Portland Police Bureau is the largest city law enforcement agency in Oregon. The bureau has approximately 900 full-time officers, 50 cadets, and 300 civilian positions. The Portland Police Bureau divides Portland into 3 precincts, with each precinct divided into as many as 20 districts. The divisions are generally based on neighborhood association boundaries, but also take into account the number of police calls generated in each district. The district serves as the basic unit of territory within the bureau, and most districts are assigned between 1 and 2 patrol officers. As such, busier districts are geographically smaller and slower districts are larger. The infrastructure of each precinct is essentially the same, though the number of officers in each precinct is adjusted continually through transfers, new hires and attrition. A 2007 attempt by Police Chief Sizer to consolidate the smallest precinct, North Precinct, into its neighbor, Northeast Precinct, was met by a mobilized North Portland community. North Precinct remains, but has been greatly reduced in overall size. Some past attempts to redraw precinct lines have met similar opposition from neighborhood associations. All Portland police officers are armed with a 9mm Glock handgun. Either the Glock 17, the Glock 19, or the Glock 26. Most uniformed officers' handguns are equipped with Surefire or Streamlight tactical lights. Many uniformed officers also elect to carry a backup handgun. These are not issued by the Bureau, but must conform to regulations regarding caliber and type. Besides firearms, all uniform officers carry several non-lethal weapons. Pepper spray, the ASP-expandable baton and the taser are all required pieces of equipment. All Portland Police Bureau officers are authorized to carry a Remington 870 shotgun. After completion of Bureau courses, officers are also authorized to carry Colt AR-15 rifles and FN 40mm single-shot less lethal launchers. SERT officers are armed with a variety of additional weapons, including H and KMP-5A3 submachine guns, and M4A1 rifles with EOTech holographic sights. The .45 Glock 21 was once included in the list of handguns that could be used as a service pistol. However, after 2 incidents in which Glock 21s exploded in the hands of officers at a shooting range, the Bureau abandoned the Glock 21. Portland Police Bureau has a LRAD, sound cannon. Most of the Bureau's rank and file employees are represented by the Portland Police Association Union. The union also represents 911 dispatchers, who work for the Bureau of Emergency Communication. As of July 2020, Darrell Turner was president of the PPA. On July 1, 2020, the city and the PPA renewed its annual contract, with an agreement to permit a newly formed Portland Street Response Team, promoted by Commissioner Joanne Hardesty, for emergency situations that don't require firearms, and an agreement on the delay of cost of living adjustment due to city budget issues related to COVID-19. This contract was extended against a backdrop of continuing George Floyd protests, some of them at PPA headquarters. The PPA, established in 1942, is the longest continuously operating police union in the United States. From 1851 to 1870, Portland was policed by a marshal, sometimes elected and sometimes appointed, who usually served a 2-year term. After 1861, the marshal was empowered to hire deputies, but they did not have permanent jobs until late in the 1860s. Thomas O'Connor, a deputy, became the first Portland officer to die while on duty in a shooting on August 21, 1867. The Bureau, originally named the Portland Metropolitan Police Force, was established in 1870 by the Portland City Council. The council appointed James Lapus as its first chief of police, in charge of a force with 6 patrolmen and 1 lieutenant, at a time when the population of Portland was less than 9,000. The first member of the Metropolitan Police Force to die in the line of duty was Officer Charles F. Sharpe, who was shot to death on June 13, 1874 while trying to disarm a drunken saloon patron. On April 1, 1908, The Bureau became the first in the United States to hire a female police officer, Lola Baldwin, who became the superintendent of its newly established Women's Protective Division, especially noted for helping women during a time that PPB's officers focused on enforcement and patrol of people who could pay them under the table. Unattached women had arrived en masse for the 1905 Lewis and Clark Centennial Exposition. In 1915, the Metropolitan Police Force changed its name to the Bureau of Police. 4 years later, the Bureau became the first